But it don't give you no right to shoot somebody because you're chasing them.
The father of a young man who died in an officer-involved shooting says he's going to take action against the Concord Police Department. Thank you for joining us for this edition of ABC 7 News at 5. We're on a half hour early because of the NBA playoffs. I'm Amma Dates. We do begin with developing news today. A deadly officer-involved shooting in Antioch involving Concord police. ABC 7 News reporter Tomas Roman has the details. Tomas.
Amma, the scene here at Buchanan Road and Barcelona Circle was cleared just a little over an hour ago, 19 hours after the shooting happened. Now, the neighbors who live in this area are still reeling from the shooting death of their neighbor, 21-year-old Charles Burns, by Concord police last night. And we still haven't heard from Concord police as to why Burns was wanted, whether he was armed. Now, what we do know is Burns' father is angry, furious, and wants some answers.
Right now, and they had no reason to be in that house over there.
John Burns' emotions have been alternating between grief and anger since learning that his son was shot to death by Concord police.
And I want an explanation why my dear 21-year-old son got killed for one day before his birthday.
21-year-old Charles Burns was supposed to turn 22 on Mother's Day. Today, his parents are mourning his loss. Friends and family have been coming to the Burns Bay Point home to share their grief since Friday night's shooting. According to some witnesses and the family, Burns was shot multiple times by at least 3 Concord police officers. He died in the middle of Buchanan Road and Barcelona Circle here in Antioch. According to one police source, Concord officers were attempting to serve a warrant on Burns and had been following him to his home on Barcelona Circle. Amanda, a neighbor, did not want to be seen on camera.
And they blocked him in on the other side. One guy got arrested. He tried to run out of the car and they shot him.
Witnesses say Burns was a passenger in this dark green pickup. Almost 24 yellow evidence markers litter Buchanan Road. Many mark where shell casings fell from officers' guns. A yellow tarp marks where Charles Burns died. Chantel Grady lives right across the street from the shooting with her husband and 3 children. She says the sounds of gunshot close by at about 9 p.m. terrified them.
Pow, pow, bang, bang, boom, boom, boom. It was boom, 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 nonstop. And then we didn't get up until it stopped.
One of those shots went through this apartment window. Virginia, who lives here, sent these photos of the bullet's passage into her living room. Luckily, no one was home. Neighbors who knew Burns say he was a helpful neighbor.
He was a good guy, and that's why it hurts me to know that we lost him.
The loss of Charles has made his father angry enough to seek legal help.
I'm going to put a stop to it because I'm going to fight all the way to the end till these cops get locked up.
Now, the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office is investigating the shooting, as well as the Concord Police Department, even though the shooting happened here in Antioch. Again, we haven't heard from either department whether or not Burns was wanted on a special warrant or if, in fact, he was armed. We'll have more information on ABC 7 News at 11. We're live in Antioch. I'm Tomas Roman, ABC 7 News.
Family of Antioch man killed by Concord police allege he was executed, mauled by police dog. San Francisco in court filings this month, the lawyer suing Concord police over a fatal officer-involved shooting leveled serious allegations against officers, that they shot an Antioch man who was surrendering, sicked a police dog on him, then shot him in the head as he lay on his back. At the center of the plaintiff's narrative is one of the 10 gunshot wounds suffered by 21-year-old Charles Burns in 2013. The bullet entered through the top of Burns' skull and cut through his brain, lacerating his cerebellum and brainstem. It is an injury forensic experts say would have killed him almost immediately, which contradicts police testimony that Burns raised his head from the ground after all shots were fired. Have a comment about this? Join the conversation at the Antioch, Brentwood, and Oakley Facebook page. Burns was shot by officers who were attempting to serve a search warrant at an Antioch home as part of a methamphetamine trafficking investigation centered on Burns and others. Police say that after a brief car chase, Burns, a passenger, ran from his friend's car. The officers who shot him testified they saw Burns grabbing his waistband and reaching for his ankle while running, and thought he was armed. One officer fired all 9 bullets in his gun, the other officer fired twice. No gun was found on Burns. He had a cell phone, which Concord attorneys say was mistaken for a weapon. Burns' family sued Concord police in 2014, claiming Burns was killed intentionally and maliciously. The city has denied the claims, and the case is headed to trial. An internal investigation by Concord police found all 11 shots were justified and exonerated both officers of wrongdoing, according to a memo included in the court file. Peter Johnson, the Burns family attorney, wrote in court records this month that his evidence includes testimony of 2 confidential eyewitnesses. He told this newspaper he was keeping their identities private for their safety, and declined to comment further. Attorneys representing the city declined to comment as well, and said city officials aren't supposed to speak on pending litigation. Reading this on your phone? Stay up to date with our free mobile app. Get it from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. The autopsy showed that Burns suffered gunshot wounds to his head, chest, arms, and back, as well as several bites from a police dog. The plaintiffs allege that either the dog was sicked on Burns after his death, or that Burns was struck several times by a volley of gunfire, followed by a pause in which the dog mauled him, before an officer fired another round into Burns' head as he lay on the ground. Attorneys for Concord police say all 11 shots including the shot to the head were fired in a single volley, and that several seconds later, a canine officer unleashed his dog when he saw Burns attempting to sit up. The officer testified he was driving when the shots were fired, continued a short distance, then parked and got out with his canine. He confirmed over the radio a dog was needed, and saw Burns back on the ground, eyes faced up, head facing up. He testified that he released his dog when he saw Burns move. I saw his head actually leave the ground, the officer, Matthew Switzer, testified. But Dr. Michael Bodden, a nationally known forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy of Michael Brown, whose fatal 2014 shooting by police in Ferguson, Missouri, ignited a national controversy over officer-involved shootings, reviewed Burns' autopsy report and told this newspaper the headshot would have rendered Burns instantly unconscious. He said death would have occurred in seconds. The location of the wound, Bodden said, indicated the gun was pointed at the top of Burns' head. He couldn't say for sure, based on the report, where Burns and the officers who fired their weapons were positioned. There are many ways you get there, Bodden said. The shooter could have been standing in a tree. A more likely scenario, Bodden said, is that Burns was bent over, crouched, or in some other downward position facing the shooter. He cautioned against relying solely on eyewitness testimony to fill in the factual gaps. 5 people will witness a car accident, and you'll get 5 slightly different stories, he said. The day of the shooting, a group of undercover Concord officers were briefed about suspected meth trafficking centered at an Antioch home on the 2700 block of Barcelona Circle. A police affidavit for a search warrant says 3 confidential informants identified Burns as someone who sold large quantities of meth. Officers were told during a briefing that Burns was frequently armed, but it was determined that a SWAT team wasn't necessary to make the arrest, according to police records. According to the court file, when they arrived at the house, officers say they saw Burns get into a truck driven by Bay Point resident Bobby Lawrence, which sped off. They chased the truck, and Lawrence, a plaintiff in the suit, surrendered after the truck and police car collided. Officers say Burns began to run, ignoring commands to show officers his hands. They say they saw what looked like the butt of a gun in his hand, and several officers said after the shooting he was holding a cell phone. Johnson claimed police planted the phone in Burns' hand, saying he would have dropped it while being shot and attacked by a police dog. In a brief section of a transcript in court filings, a confidential witness is quoted saying he or she saw Burns running with his hands raised. The witness later says he or she ducked behind a car when the shots were fired. The transcript doesn't include testimony detailing the shooting. Lawrence, the driver of the truck, gave 2 police interviews during which officers referred to Burns several times as an expletive, hole and a drug dealer. Lawrence at one point claimed he wasn't able to identify the undercover officers as police before the chase began, then later said he did in fact know they were officers, according to a transcript. The lawsuit alleges that the undercover officers failed to properly identify themselves, prompting Lawrence and Burns to flee. Have a comment about this? Join the conversation at the Antioch, Brentwood, and Oakley Facebook page. The day after Burns was shot, officers searched the Barcelona Circle home and found approximately 1.5 pounds of suspected methamphetamine, a semi-automatic 9mm handgun and $17,000. Concord attorneys say Burns was affiliated with an obscure Bay Area street gang, but Johnson claims those allegations are simply an attempt to smear Burns.
Need a car? Don't forget to stop by carmarshal.com, where you can scout through over 100,000 new and used car vehicles. Take a look around. Get you a new affordable car. carmarshal.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America, you know. But at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, it's, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.